There are hard times, there are amazing times too, but we've got to go through the hard times and the hard work to get to that place where we're starting to build momentum, and then momentum will stack and compound. But recognizing that you're not alone and just looking after yourself through these harder periods, knowing that if you keep turning up, keep doing hard things, keep showing up, keep leaning into uncomfortable emotions, uncomfortable situations, and not hiding or not shying away, the version of you that comes out the other side is just going to be magnificent. Hello everyone, Josh here. Welcome to another episode of the Ignite podcast. Today I want to talk to you about why the harder times determine your true level of success. So let's dive in. I'm looking forward to today's episode. So, you know it. You're a business owner. You know that there are hard times. Like, it's not all rainbows and sunshine. It's not all beer and Skittles. There are going to be seasons in business. There are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be periods where things feel hard and tough. And there are going to be periods where you feel on top of the world and you've got momentum and the wind behind you and things are just happening, moving, and you're kicking goals. The reality is you can't have one without the other. There are going to be the troughs, they're going to be the harder times, and there are going to be the peaks in terms of the momentum and the great times. What I want to talk about today is because not many people talk about the harder times. Not many people talk about when you're in the trenches and stuff's kind of not working and you're feeling frustrated and a little bit down on yourself because things aren't working, or you feel like you're getting kicked around a bit. Like, not many people talk about that. Like, you only ever see the social media, the Instagram reels, the positive things in life. And like, people don't really talk about the harder stuff. I mean, I'm really fortunate, like our community in Boardroom, we get real with each other. We talk about the hard stuff, the frustrating stuff, and we kind of normalize it because we've got an amazing group of business owners who are all going through the ups and downs, and we can celebrate wins and we can share triumphs with each other, but we can also get behind each other where things aren't going well, and we can all go, that's normal, that's part of running a business. We've got your back. But I think, no one really talks about the hard stuff. And we all aim for this utopia of things are going to be awesome all the time. But I want to highlight the fact that like true success comes from those harder times. Like when stuff's easy, when work's coming through the door, the team are humming, all that sort of stuff, that's easy. There's no resistance. And you're going, well, that sounds pretty dang good. And it is good. It feels great to have momentum. It feels good to know that your hard work has paid off to allow you to be on that plane. Like, I don't know if you've ever rode before. I rode for 3 or 4 years through college, and we talked about being up on the plane in terms of once you get the whole team working well together, the oars going in at the same time together, the oars coming out together, the oars at the same height, going back in the backstroke. Once you get humming and up on that level, it is magical, particularly at 4:30 in the morning when the sun's just coming up over the river. But like it feels great. But the thing is that there is hard work that's got to go into getting you to that point. And a lot of people don't talk about that. So hard times really determine your true level of success. Like I've had boardroomers reach out to me and go, mate, look, we're celebrating all these wins with other people in Boardroom. People are doubling revenue, people are kicking goals, they're hiring team, they're winning new work, they're growing their businesses. I don't feel like I'm there. And I'm like, but yes, we don't talk about that. People don't talk about the harder stuff. So everyone goes through harder times, but people don't realize that people who are winning now went through harder times and the uncertainty and all that sort of stuff to get to the winning piece. So today's episode is about normalizing that business is hard. It can be hard, it can be frustrating, but it's who you become as a person. It's how you turn up in those harder times. It's how you approach the harder problems that determines your level of success, your personal growth through those hard times, and who you become out the other side. Just this morning, talking to an amazing boardroom member, going through some hard stuff. Teams, there's some shifts happening in the team, the market's a bit unsteady, and I was like, we've just got to obviously steady the ship, but it's about how you conduct yourself through this period that's going to be the difference between whether you come out the other side scathed or unscathed. And it really resonated with him because he's like, in the past, prior to joining Boardroom, would have been super reactive and freaking out about all these things, but he's got a peer network behind him. It's like, That's cool. That stuff happens. That's kind of business, but it's about who you are and how you conduct yourself and how you show up in those harder times that determine how you come through the other side. Because if you throw the tantrums and you're woe is me and you're like, this sucks and like it's unfair that this stuff's happening to me, you lose respect of your team. You lose respect of the people around you, your family. They kind of don't want to be part of you and your world when you're going through that sort of stuff, and you become not a very nice person. But if you can recognize that behind or on the other side of every hard situation is an uphill, don't know when that's going to come, but that will come. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. But if you can go, I've just got to turn up every day, put my best foot forward, breathe when I recognize that I'm getting overwhelmed, take some space or take a moment when I feel like, this is all getting too hard, come back to center and be that person that you would want to be around in hard times. Be that person for your team, your family, and show people around you that you're the type of person that turn up in hard situations. You don't hide, you don't shy away, you do what's required to move through these harder times because you're leaning into that uncomfortableness. Like if life was super easy all the time, we're up on that plane that I was talking about before, there's no resistance. And where there is resistance, there is growth. And if we want an easy life, well, then we're not going to grow. And we're not going to become that person that we admire in a year's time or 2 years' time. So it's recognizing that it's important to go through growth. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's difficult. But on the other side of those harder times is a much stronger, more resilient, more respected version of you as a business owner and business leader. So the true test of character really comes when the chips are down or things aren't going well. So just recognize that if you're in a period of a harder phase of your business, or things are a little bit tough right now, one, you are not alone. There is no one else out there running a business has not experienced either hard times or is going through hard times right now. So recognize that you're not alone. And that was the biggest thing that came through from our last live event for our boardroom clients or our boardroom members. I am in a room of people. I'm not alone. Understand that everyone's going through similar challenges to me, and it's nice to normalize that. So recognize, one, that you're not alone, and two, as much as you possibly can. Like, we've all got stuff that we need to work on. We've all got things that trigger our anger or insecurities or anxiety or nervousness or feelings of low self-worth. We've all got our lived journey to this point, and we've all got things that kind of trigger those parts of our personality that can, in stress and times of not amazingness, start to rear their heads and turn us into a person that we're not really proud of when we go through hard stuff. So as much as you possibly can, recognize that if you are in a hard time, to look after yourself, to get enough sleep, to exercise, do all the things that bring you back to a centered state. And recognize too that if you need to take a bit more time away from the office or to think it through your thoughts or not be in those situations that do trigger you, it's important to do that. Because if you say or do something or react a certain way that you ultimately regret, that can have lasting damage to your team, to your loved ones, to the people around you, as opposed to obviously stopping, pausing, having that level of self-awareness that I am overwhelmed, I am triggered, and I just need to get some space to step back into that best version of me. So I think that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to normalize it. There are hard times, there are amazing times too, but we've got to go through the hard times and the hard work to get to that place where we're starting to build momentum, and then momentum will stack and compound. But recognizing that you're not alone and just looking after yourself through these harder periods, knowing that if you keep turning up, keep doing hard things, keep showing up, keep leaning into uncomfortable emotions, uncomfortable situations, and not hiding or not shying away, the version of you that comes out the other side is just going to be magnificent. And you always hear it. Everyone who says, I've gone through a hard period and I've come out the other side and I wouldn't change a thing. It sucked and it was hard, but I've become such a better person and a stronger person for it that I wouldn't change a thing. So if that's you, just look after yourself and know that there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and you're becoming a much stronger, much more resilient and a better version of you. It's just going to take time. So that's it from me today, team. Look, if you want to keep, obviously talked a lot about our boardroom program through this episode, because it's just reminded me so much of what we teach and go through in boardroom. Look, if you want to keep doing this journey on your own, we have a ton of free resources to help you keep doing that. But if you'd like some help, if you want to join a community, be part of a group of incredible people all building their businesses together, I'd love to invite you to have a chat about boardroom and how we might be able to help you run and build a more efficient business and grow with confidence through boardroom. Have an amazing day.